Hey everybody, welcome back to Travel Trailer Nation. I want to give you a heads up about the video you're about to see. When we got back from up north, I of course got up on my roof and did my inspection, washed the roof, came down the backside. Noticed that around the observation camera that was a mess, and you'll see it in a second, of kind of a gelatinous goo. Plus the marker lights themselves, the silicone around there need to be replaced anyway, and you'll see why in a minute too. But in any event, I wanted to tell you that the camera work in this video is pretty horrible. I am experimenting with that Akaso sport camera. I started with it on my head, then I moved it to my chest, so you're going to hear some clunking as things hit the camera as I'm moving around. But towards the end of the video, I think I'm closer to getting to the point where you'll actually see me doing some work that makes sense, but it's going to take a little more time for me to kind of fine tune it in, and I'll probably end up going back on top of using the head strap and just having to adjust that, because even with the chest strap, my arms tend to get in the way. So it's a pretty long video, and like I said, and I edited out a bunch of stuff, including all the profanity that went on when I talk about what a mess it is and what Grand Design boogered up on the trailer. When I pulled that camera housing off and then the gasket off, I could see I was almost like they decided to use a screwdriver to punch a hole in the fiberglass. There's little cracks around it, and it obviously wasn't a drill. They might have started with a drill, but moved on to something else after that. And then on top of that, there were 4 screws that hold the assembly, not the camera, but the camera base, to the gasket and then into the trailer. And though there were 5 holes instead of 4, they started another one. They obviously didn't do it right, but they didn't get all the way through. But just the more I looked, the more disappointed I was with the quality of the work. No surprise for you guys. See, is there anything else I really want to say about it? I don't think so. I'll just let you guys go through the video, and I am sorry about the camera work. I'm going to try and get better. My intent was to get you up close so you could actually see what was going on. And in this video, I use Aquasol to do the cleaning. It works really good. I always follow it up. After I put Aquasol on, I always follow that up with like a little soapy water and then wipe that down. And as far as putting the silicone around the lights and the riding lights and the camera, I will do a very thin bead of silicone around that stuff. Then I spray like either a soapy liquid or a Windex, and then I basically take my finger and do that and rub it on a paper towel. The Windex or soapy water over that keeps it from spreading out and making a mess. So anyway, that's what I do. I know there's other ways that people go. They like to mask things and whatnot. So anyway, that's kind of it. Sorry, this is really kind of long-winded, but here you go. All right, guys, look at this mess. And believe it or not, this is not caulk. This is the rubber gasket under the observation camera made by Furrion that has disintegrated over time. And it is a sticky, gooey mess. So I've ordered a new gasket, and let's clean it up and put a new gasket on. Before we get into this mess with the camera and the rubber gasket that's dissolving back there, I did want to talk briefly about these marker lights, because as you can see, all of these, and that spot there is for me scraping, but they really need to be redone. And the seal's still good on them, but it looks terrible. And I've done this one. I still have a little bit to do there. This one is done for the most part. A little bit touch up I need to do there. And I'm not pulling the whole lights off because I just don't think that's necessary to pull the whole backing plate off. I think the less time you spend screwing and unscrewing things into this thin wall, the better. But I do have one down there I need to do too. The other thing I wanted to talk about is UV takes a toll on these. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this light's cracked. I'm sure you can see it. And actually, I would say of the 5 red marker lights back here, 4 are cracked. And this thing's undercover all the time, so it's a combination of heat and sunlight and probably just crappy plastic before it degrades to the point where, you know, it needs to be replaced. So keep that in mind. And we checked the amber markers going around the trailer, and a couple of those were cracked as well, so I'm going to take care of that. But anyway, what I'm using here, oh boy, there goes my scraper. I'm using Acrosol, and I spray it on a paper towel, and very carefully, just on an edge, because I do not want to get up here. That seals fine. So I want to do that, and then just gently go around this, and then I follow up with a scraper, which is now laying on the floor down there, to scrape it off. And as you can see, it works very well. It takes some time to do, but you know, so I'm going to finish these lights up, doing that same process, and then move on to the camera. Very hard to do balancing on a ladder with one hand, but you get the idea. All right, guys, I have no idea how this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. So I'm going to just take a paper towel, and I'm just putting Acrosol on the edge of it. I'm coming over here, and I'm going to try and saturate that as best I can. But as you can see, like, there is just an incredible amount of dirt, probably mold, wouldn't surprise me. So you kind of got to keep doing that for a while. And like I said, I don't want to, I'm using the edge of a paper towel because I don't want to hit the seal up there, which is good. The longer you let this sit on here, if you can, the better results you're going to have. I try and keep it just confined to that silicone that's around the marker light, and as you can see, that one's broken too. Yeah, they're all broken. They're all broken. Nothing I can do about it. I got new ones coming. So just keep working it like that, and you will be surprised at how easily that silicone comes up. So I'm hoping you guys can see this. And then if yours is needed, get her done. And then I'm still waiting for the gasket on that camera over there. So when that comes, then we'll be back at it out here. And that's going to be an even bigger mess, I'm afraid, because of that rubber. I got some of that on my hand. It was nasty. Four screws to take this off. I just took the 4 screws out of the camera there and noticed the camera wasn't running, so a little disappointed. My camera, not the camera on the trailer. And I can't see where. But these two on the bottom don't feel like they're tied into wood necessarily, but the top ones, boy oh boy, they really felt like they were. Almost there. I think that thing's just going to fall off because it's garbage, the gasket. Okay, let's see. Oh boy. Oh yeah, it's worse than I thought. Look at that thing. Look at that mess. Look at that, and it's just, I mean, all along the edge here, that's all just, man, that's disgusting. So I'm going to take these down, and then I'm going to get my Acrosol. It is, yeah, the rubber is just coming apart. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I know it's not sealant because there's clear sealant there. So anyway, let's get this done the right way. Acrosol. Ugh, man. Jeez, this is so gross. Ugh. Look at that mouse. I think this is going to take a lot more Acrosol than I planned on using. But I don't know, maybe not. Oh, look at that gasket. Just rubber, just totally disintegrating. It's apparent to me right now that I should have brought the whole thing of paper towels out with me. Golly. Kind of wondering whether there was any sealer on here to begin with. I thought that was clear sealant on there, but now I'm having my doubts. Whatever. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, what, the more you dig into what Grand Design did when they manufactured the trailer, the more disgusted you'll get. It's like they just butchered the holes there. Anyway, it is what it is. Alright, I ended up having to get a new plastic housing because the old one is actually cracked at one of the screws. So, first thing I'm going to do is just feed the cable through. And then I'm going to fit it into the new rubber gasket, which seems like it fits pretty nicely in there. And then it's a matter of getting all those screws on. Tell you what, they're in a precarious place. It's very hard for me to see where they go. I probably have to go down a couple rungs on the ladder. It's pretty good. Let's go down a rung or two so we can see what we're doing. Okay, next step is to get the camera back in. So, first thing I'm going to do is plug it in. I'm going to straddle the ladder again. Try and get that cord kind of doubled up in there. I think there's plenty of room for it. Smaller screwdriver. That's making it like that. That's pretty damn good. Where are those holes? Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh. Even that thing wants to break. Well, screw it in tight. Okay, anyway. Get it in all the way. Yep. Looks good. That's the way it's gonna have to be. Alright. Now I gotta put a bead of silicone around it, according to them. So let's go do that. Not my best work, but it'll do. Okay, now I just gotta get a paper towel and clean up my Windex, and we're done. And turn on the power, make sure it fires up. That should not be an issue. But, you know, stranger things have happened. hot. All right. And you can see that blue light is on, so we're good. So that's it, guys. Until next time, happy camping.